Good morning, grade 6. Welcome to our class today. Today we are going to study together Unit 3, Lesson 1, Grammar. And our grammar topic today is the present perfect simple versus the present perfect continuous. Of course, we have studied that before in grade 5 and also in grade 4. Today we are going to study that again with more focus. Present perfect simple vs present perfect continuous. I give you two examples, first for the present perfect simple and for the present perfect continuous. Okay, I have studied English this morning. I have studied English this morning. This is present perfect simple, have or has plus the past participle of the verb. I have been studying for 3 hours. I have been studying for 3 hours. That's present perfect continuous. Have been or has been plus the verb in the ing form. We are going to review together the form of each one of them and the difference in the meaning between them. Let's start. Look at this. Harry has been painting the picture of the Himalayas all morning. He has already drawn the outlines, but he hasn't filled the colors yet. We have two sentences in the present perfect simple and one sentence only in the present perfect continuous. The first one, Harry has been painting, present perfect continuous. It means that he has started painting earlier and until now he is still painting. But here he has already drawn the outlines. He hasn't filled the colors yet. In these two sentences, we understand that these two actions, one of them has already finished and stopped, and the other one didn't finish yet or didn't even start yet. He has already drawn the outlines. He has already finished that. That's present perfect simple. He hasn't filled the colors yet means he didn't start to do this action yet. And here the reporter says or asks, how long have you been in this profession? How long have you been in this profession? Harry answers, I have been working as a professional painter since 1999. Present perfect continuous, have been working. And we understand from this sentence that until now he is still working in this profession. The reporter asks again or says, I see you have worked as a painter for more than a decade. For more than a decade means the decade has already finished. That's why we use present perfect simple. Have you ever received any awards? Have you ever received any awards? Present perfect simple. Yes, I have received the Best Painter of the Year award once. Also present perfect simple because this action has already done or has already finished. So, when we talk about the present perfect simple, the form of this action is has or have plus the past participle, and the negative form has not or have not plus the past participle. But what does past participle mean? For regular verbs, we just add ed to the verb. Live, lived, work, worked, and took, talked. Just add ed. For the irregular verbs, it depends on the particular verb, means every verb has its own rule and we have to memorize them all. For example, the verb be, the past participle, been, know, known, get, got, teach, taught, bring, brought, have, had, send, sent. This is the past participle form. The present perfect continuous form has been or have been plus the verb in the ing form. In the negative form, has not or hasn't been, haven't been, plus the verb in the ing form. Examples: John has not been living in LA or Los Angeles for very long. Has not been living. Present perfect continuous. Hasn't been living. We have not been exercising very much recently. We haven't been exercising. Present perfect continuous. Now, what are the differences between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous? Or when can we use the present perfect simple and when can we use the present perfect continuous? Let's start with the present perfect simple. We use it to talk about something that started in the past and has continued until now. For example, he has studied English for 10 years. Means until now he's still studying English, but maybe not in the meantime. Number two, something that happened in the past and we don't know or we don't say when exactly it happened. For example, I have found my keys and I didn't mention the time here when it happened. Number three, to talk about something that happened in the past and has a result that affects the present. The action has already finished, but it has an effect on the present time. For example, pollution has endangered the survival of many animals. Number four, actions that have just finished. Example, we have just finished our break time. The break time has just finished, just a few minutes or a few seconds ago. Experiences and achievements. If I want to talk about my experiences or things that I have achieved in the past and I don't mention when these things happened or achieved, we use the present perfect simple. For example, she has traveled to many countries. She has traveled to many countries. This is for the present perfect simple. Now for the present perfect progressive or present perfect continuous, we use it to talk about actions that started in the past and are still in progress now. Ali has been searching for a job for 3 months. And we understand from this sentence and that until now he is still searching and he didn't find a job yet. Actions that happened repeatedly in the past and have finished recently, but that have results that affect the present. Example, I have been working on my laptop for 2 hours and the result or the effect here, my eyes hurt. So when we have an effect that affects the present time, we use the present perfect continuous. I have been working on my laptop. To emphasize how long actions have been in progress for. To emphasize how long actions have been in progress for, or to emphasize the duration of the time that the action has continued for. For example, they have been studying for 5 hours. They have been studying for 5 hours. That's really a long time. The focus here is on the duration of the time, 5 hours. Difference in meaning. Okay. Unlike the present perfect continuous is never used to talk about recently finished actions. If the action has already finished recently, we don't use present perfect continuous, just present perfect simple. Example, Susan has mopped the floor. It's present perfect, it's recently finished. Susan has been mopping the floor for 15 minutes. Here we focus on the duration of time and we understand that the action has not finished yet. Until now, she's still mopping. More example of the present perfect continuous. Jane started to work in her garden at 8 this morning. Now it's 12. and she is still working in the garden. So we say she has been working in the garden for 4 hours. Wow, she must be tired now. Means she is still working right now. She didn't finish working. Where is Kelly? She's sleeping. She has been sleeping for a long time. Here we understand that until now she's still sleeping. Sam and Paul are talking in the hallway. They have been talking since class ended. Here we use since to show the starting point of the action, the starting point of time of the action. We use the present perfect continuous because until now they are still talking. Note, in English we don't usually use stative verbs or non-action verbs with the continuous tenses. As we started in Unit 1 with the present simple and present continuous, we said that we don't use stative verbs in the present continuous form. Also here we don't use stative verbs with the present perfect continuous form. Example, Jane got a headache 2 hours ago. She still has a headache right now. Until now the action is still in progress, but we never say she has been having a headache or she has been getting a headache. No, that's completely wrong. We must use the present perfect simple. Jane has had a headache for 2 hours because this verb is a stative verb. Now, which of the two sentences below is better or more likely to be correct? We have 2 pairs for each question. We're going to read the 2 sentences and decide which one of them is the correct one. I have worked in the garden all day and now I'm tired. I have been working in the garden all day and now I'm tired. Which one of them is more likely to be correct, or which one of them is better? Of course, number 2 is the best one. I have been working in the garden all day and now I am tired, because this action happened in the past for a long time and it has an effect on the present. That's present perfect continuous. What have you done? You're all wet. What have you been doing? You're all wet. So here we are asking also, or we are talking about something that was in progress for a long time in the past. So we choose what have you been doing? You're all wet. Maybe he was sweating, maybe he was watering the garden or something like that. I have finished my homework. Now I'm going to watch TV. I have been finishing my homework. Now I'm going to watch TV. Which one is correct? Yes, the first one. I have finished my homework. Now I'm going to watch TV, because it talks about an action that has finished recently or just a few minutes before talking. What have you done with my keys? I haven't seen your keys. What have you been doing with my keys? I haven't seen your keys. Someone asks, the other is answering. What have you done with my keys? I haven't seen your keys. What have you been doing with my keys? I haven't seen your keys. Which one of them is more likely to be correct? Of course, the first one. What have you done with my keys? Because here there is no duration of time. And as I said before, the main difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous is that the present perfect continuous focuses on the duration of time, or for how long the action was in progress in the past. She has worked in the garden all morning and she's still not finished. She has been working in the garden all morning and she's still not finished. Which one of them is correct? Of course, number 2 is the correct one because the action is still in progress right now. And we have a long duration of time all morning. Why are you sweating? I have cut the grass. Why are you sweating? I have been cutting the grass. Which one is correct? Of course, number 2 is correct. Why are you sweating? I have been cutting the grass, because the action here or the verb here, sweating, needs a long time of working. So here we are talking about the long duration of time that the action have been going on. So I have been cutting the grass, present perfect continuous. How many biscuits have you eaten? How many biscuits have you been eating? We always use how many to ask about the present perfect simple, because we are asking about the things or the something that has already finished. So when I ask here how many biscuits have you eaten, I'm asking about the number of biscuits you have already eaten, not you are still eating. So the first one is the correct one. How long have you known her? How long have you been knowing her? The first one is the correct one, of course, because the verb know is a stative verb. And as I told you before, we don't use stative verbs in the continuous form. So whenever we have a stative verb, we must use the present perfect simple, even with how long. How long have you known her is the correct one. Okay, dear students, now we have finished our session for today. I hope you understand the lesson well. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourselves.